watchers, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. Well, I want to say happy Monday. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. Yes, we are back. I am excited to be hanging out with you all again throughout the work week. But yeah, how y'all doing? What y'all up to? What y'all got going on? Y'all prepared for the work week? Oh, any exciting news y'all have to share? I mean, anything God has told you, revealed to you? Any special time you spent with him? Oh, I know I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm all in y'all business, huh? But y'all can drop that in the comments, okay? I love to hear about it. Love to hear some good news. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled The Bridge Part 2. Remember we reviewed The Bridge Part 1 last week, and I told y'all we're going to get into the Part 2. It was coming, and now we are here. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. Molly and Ryan fell in love during their freshman year, only to break up when Molly's controlling father meddled in their romance. 7 years later, they are reunited when they try to save the bookstore that changed their lives. Faith watchers out there, y'all know I just enjoy Karen Kingsbury. her work here. Yes, we're still in this world with Ryan and Molly. And of course, I stayed away from spoilers in part 1, so I didn't mention a lot of stuff that obviously has been said with the synopsis here. But yeah, since now y'all know about that, let me go ahead and express my feelings about it. I did feel some kind of way. I just have to be honest, okay, with Molly's dad. I just really didn't like that, as much as I tried to be, like I told y'all, understand his side of the story, understand her side, and not really be on either one of these sides. Just want the best for them as father and daughter here. But but I have to say, like, how that end, I really felt some kind of way. The way part 1 ended, I really did, y'all, with Molly's dad. I'm like, the selfishness here, and just not trusting in God and believing that you raised a wonderful, godly daughter and it was all going to work out at some point. I mean, sometimes you just have to trust our loved ones to the Lord instead of meddling in their lives and playing the whole manipulation, deception game. I do not like that game, okay? And I just feel like the dad did that in part 1. He just totally surprised me with how far he was willing to go to get what he wanted at the expense of his daughter. And I mean, for 7 years, I mean, I can see, y'all, okay, if a day or two kind of went by, but you allowed 7 years to go by. And who knows what could have happened in that 7 years. I mean, Ryan and Molly had finally, at the end of part 1, have made it to a place they have always been friends. I love what they were building their relationship on, which was friendship, the word of God. And they finally got to that point where they were able to express these feelings that they developed for each other at the end, or towards the end of the film. I mean, part 1, we talking about part 2, okay? I ain't getting away no spoilers here. But yeah, they were finally to that place, and it just reminded me of, like, I know I'm just kind of like hesitant here because trying to get my words together, my thoughts together, because like I said, I'm disappointed with her dad, feel some kind of way about him, want to put him in his place, because you should be doing it, you should be getting that Molly business like that. Don't you do that, okay? Oh, all right. I got that out of the way. Yes, but anyways, all right. So that is kind of just like playing in the back of my mind. And then this other thing here is that, like, that typical thing that you see with romance films, family friendly romance films, that kind of thing, or even just films in general, when that typical thing happens, like, where all it would have took if somebody would have just communicated, and you like, that's when you start yelling at the screen, and like, when you instead of assuming what this person is thinking, oh, why don't you call them? Why don't you talk to them? You know, it's like that thing that just kind of just irritates you, because you can stop a total disaster. Like, you can totally just stop whatever it is thing that is about to come. And yet the characters, for whatever reason, just don't. They just leave it up in the air, and they're just like, okay, so this person just told you what they told you, and you're like, it doesn't make sense what they're saying, because the day before, or a few minutes earlier, they meet like they were on the same page as you. Then all of a sudden, they're like, they're not there. They don't want what you want. And you're looking confused. You don't understand. Like, you saw the tears in Molly's eyes and different things like that. And I'm like, girl, why don't you ask him? I mean, no, I got to give it to her, because she did ask Ryan. But for Ryan, I'm just like, why don't you ask her? Instead of believing what you thought you heard from her dad, why don't you ask her? Why don't you go back to the source? Why do characters do that? Okay, instead of believing what the person has, giving the person a chance and letting them explain themselves if there's something that's misunderstood. But you allow somebody who has nothing to do with you or your relationship to interfere and say something that you know in your heart does not sound right, but you believe in it because you're like, but it's logical to your mind, and you like, but this does make sense. And it's just that little nugging thing back and forth. And even though it's so short, it is literally like right there. It's so short to the point where like you are literally holding your breath. Seriously, you holding your breath because you just want what needs to happen. And when it just doesn't happen that way, you're just yelling at the screen. And that was my thing at the end of part 1. And so here we are 7 years later. So when it opens up like that, I'm like, 7 years later, are you serious? So the last time you saw this girl, she was a girl. She was 18 years old. Your whole life ahead of you. You're just in a total different place at that point. You still have that innocence about you, especially if you were raised right and different things like that. And now you see the film open up, and then all this time passes. Like, they're no longer kids. These are like grown people in their careers, in their elements and different things like that. And it's like, how much has changed, how much growth has happened, and all of this time you telling me not one of y'all was able to pick up the phone? Oh yes, y'all, that's what I was going through. And it's crazy because I know it sounded like that almost stressful, like to be going through that, and then your breath is caught in your throat and different things like that. But at the same time, you just love to go through it. These are the kind of things these authors put us through, and they know they be doing it, okay? So basically, that's kind of where we open up here in part 2. 7 years has passed. You know, we have Molly and Ryan here, and they're in their element, they're in their lives, and you're just wondering, how did you get here? Because of course we wondering the last time we saw them as kids, and then it slowly but surely starts to unfold that story. Different things starts to draw them back. Well, the main thing that drew them back to their Franklin, I believe that's the town. What drew them back is the bookstore needing help. The owners of the bookstore are in a different place in their lives. And it's so many different things, so many different lives that are entwined in part 2. But you get every answer, every question answered. You get that here. So that is the beauty of that. I will say, because we don't do spoilers here, that you will be happy with the ending. It really is sweet, wonderful, a classic Karen Kingsbury, and perfect to just get you going in that holiday spirit and different things like that. And at the same time, y'all gonna be like me too, all right? Holding your breath, child. What y'all doing to me? You're gonna be all in it, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our scripture before I leave y'all. I know I kind of went a little bit different with this review. I feel like I did because I don't know. I took y'all on a roller coaster with me, okay? I think, okay, this is an emotional review. It's a little bit emotional, right? But this is the best that I could do, because otherwise we'll be talking spoilers, and I don't want to do that. I want y'all to really enjoy this film. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our scripture before I leave y'all for today. And we are coming out of Psalms chapter 139, verse 17 through 18. And it reads, How precious also are your thoughts to me, O God. How great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they would be more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. That's all I have for y'all for this video. As always, please remember to leave y'all thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because I do read them and I do enjoy hearing from you. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.